Hi, I'm Lacey B. Mills, artist and educator in San Antonio, Texas. Welcome to Saturday Morning Discovery. For today's art experience, I'll be teaching you how to create your own mini zine out of one sheet of paper. Before we get into doing that, let's have a look at what zines are and what materials you'll be needing. So what is a zine? Think of the word magazine, and if you were to drop the first 4 letters of that word, you're left with zine, Z-I-N-E. Now, if you think of a magazine and you think of its contents, it's all based on its subject, right? So if there's a gaming magazine, all of the photos and the info are gonna be about video games. If it's a political magazine, it's gonna be about politics. I think you get the gist. So you, as a publisher, can make it about anything you want. You just gotta gather all your tools and your information and lay it out. So this project is a really good project to really think about the design and composition of any kind of outcome. So let's have a look at some of the different types of zines. So one of the first ones I have here is a how-to zine. This one's how to make a zine or a comic. If I open it up, it's little drawings and it's telling you a story. It does 2 things in one, which is really cute. The second one is on how to be a pen pal. Everybody wants to be a pen pal, but nobody wants to be a pen pal, you know? And it gives you steps, little drawings. Now another one I want to show you, this is Mayor of Tatertown. And the best thing about it is not that it's just a comic, but if we were to flip it open, it's a little poster promoting Tater, Mayor Tater, to have him reelected, which is pretty cool. And then I have another one. This one's all about the digestive system. This one, once you open it up, it gives you all the details of what's in your body. Then there's also fanzines. Now fanzines can be about anything you want. If you're a big fan about it, you can turn it into a zine. This one is about the X-Men. This one is from a local artist in San Antonio. She loves a lot of sci-fi movies, as do I. And then this one's a little different. You don't have a cover or a back really, but it does have a design. And its cover kind of relates to what's inside of it. So this one's about Halloween. So these are ladies of horror. So this is just a fan who loves horror films or Halloween films, and they decided to draw the main characters. And once they did so, they stapled it in the middle and then created a cover just out of some scrapbook paper. And this is one of mine, or these are 2 of mine, and they're poetry zines. This is how they look when they're getting started. It's a lot of just collaging, blank pages, and then I'll start to put the words in, like I did with this one. This one is a little different from it's still a 1-page zine, but it's different from the others because this is a snake accordion fold, which is what I like to call it. And you can add stuff on the back or not. It really is up to you. Now let's look at some of the materials that you'll be needing to create zines. So to create your mini zine, you will be needing some scissors, a ruler of any kind, pencil, and an eraser, some glue most definitely if you're gonna be collaging, so glue, any kind of glue. I personally like to use glue sticks, and then you're definitely gonna need some paper. Any size of paper will work. This is like legal size paper for a copy machine. This is just scraps of drawing paper. And then you'll also, if you're gonna be doing a collage zine, you'll definitely need some collage materials like old magazines. I have discarded drawings, or these are some scraps from an old print. But for today's zine, I'm gonna be making one about cats. And so I have some photographs that I photocopied that I took on my phone, and I'm gonna be using those images inside my zine. So yeah, any magazines that you have lying around, you can use those. or if you have little Polaroid pictures, you can use those. It all depends on what the contents of your zine, what its subject is gonna be about. And then any kind of drawing materials. I have all types of markers, pens, pencils. And then if you have stamps, I love to use stamps, so I have a really big collection. All kinds of stamps. It can be of something or it can be letters. I use a lot of letters in mine. And I even found these cute little emoji stamps that I'm gonna try out today. So basically you can fill your zine up with anything that you want. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's get into folding your page. Now what you're gonna do is you take your one sheet of paper, and again, I'm gonna show you two types of fold. One is called the simple fold, and the second is an accordion fold. So you're gonna take your sheet of paper, whether it's copy paper or a piece of notebook paper ripped out of a notebook, or a sheet of paper from a sketch pad, whatever it is, grab your paper. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do some folds. The first one you're gonna do is what I have been calling the hamburger fold, or the book fold. It's just completely in half. Then you're gonna take it from the top and fold it to the bottom, what's also known as the hot dog fold. Now just like when you're making origami, you want your corners nice and tight. The more precise, the better. So that way your zine will kind of fold into itself. So now you're left with 4 squares. Once you have those 4 squares, you're now going to take the right side and you're gonna fold it into the middle crease. Again, I'm trying very carefully to line up my corners. And some people use a bone folder to get those really crisp edges. You can easily use the edge of your scissors, the edge of your pencil to get a really nice crisp fold. Then you're gonna open that up, and then you're gonna bring the left side and fold it into the middle crease as well. I'm also lining up this line in the middle to make it nice and precise. So now you have 8 boxes. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a slit or a little cut right here in the middle. So I'm going to make a little mark just so y'all can see a little better those little corners that I'm talking about. We're just cutting from this corner to this corner. So again, you have your hamburger fold, open it up, your hot dog fold, open it up. This is called the shutter fold because it opens and closes like a shutter. Now we're gonna completely fold it again, just like a book or the hamburger fold. Oh, let me do it this way so you guys can see those dots. So there's those little marks I made. And this is very important. This is your folded side, and this is your open side. You're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut from this middle part all the way to that first little notch or mark that you made. And now I always call this like a little duck mouth, but it's just the opening. So now this is where everybody gets a little confused, but don't worry. You're gonna fold it down hot dog length, and you're gonna pinch these 2 corners. And you're gonna pull it in, and then you're gonna grab it this way and this way, put it down, and fold it over. And that's your simple fold. Sometimes I'll put very lightly, I'll number my pages so you can number them 1 through, I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages with a front and back. So this is back. So this is your simple fold. Now we're gonna make the accordion fold. Let me use one of the copy sheets. This is a longer one. Same principle. We're doing the same thing. So let's try it again. You're gonna do your hamburger fold, corner to corner. Then you'll do your hot dog fold. And then we'll do, guess what? The shutter fold. So it goes from 4 to 8 boxes. So same thing, same start as the last one. But what's important about the second zine is the cut. We're not going to be cutting here in the center like we did the other one. We're going to be cutting all the way from one end to the first little intersection right here. So again, I'm just going to make sure I tighten all of my creases so that way it'll fold nice and tightly when we're done. So now I'm going to get my scissors and I'm going to go ahead and cut all the way to the first little intersection right there. This fold is much easier than the other one. You're just going to fold it accordion style, back and forth, back and forth. And when you get to the end, you're going to flip it over. And then you fold it some more. So this one's going to have more pages than your previous one. And there's your accordion. So this one right here, this was the accordion, and this one was the one page. Okay? Now let's get into adding stuff, the contents of your zine. So I've already created one, and I've gathered some of the material to support the subject or the topic that I want to put into my zine, which is going to be about cats. And I travel a lot. I love animals, so I've taken a lot of photographs of different cats that I've met at different places that I've been to, and I thought it'd be interesting to create a catadex, kind of like a reference guide to some of the cats that I've met. Yeah, I just like cats. So I'm gonna go ahead and I photocopied everything from my phone. There were photographs from my phone, and I printed them out. Now remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. You can take as much time as you want. You can make it very tight and refined, or you can just throw it together. There are zines called the 24-hour zine where you just have one day to put it all together. I'm kind of taking that theme and just jumping in. So here we go. I have all of my images that I want, but remember, I have to fit within this size. So before I just start gluing, I wrote down kind of like a guide as to what I want it to be. I went ahead and created a title, and then I kind of did some sketches of what cats I would want on which page. And then I went ahead and printed out everything. So now I kind of have a formula. I have a plan, a sketch per se, that I can use for my final piece. So I'm just gonna follow this along. My first page is going, I already drew my cover. And now I'm gonna start laying out the different images that I want for each page. So I know I want Morris there. And then for the third page, I'll use Tony and Goldie, which I think I'm going to use, this one's a nice size. So I'm just laying these here. I'm not gluing them down yet. I'm just making sure I follow my sketch. Next one would be Mrs. Miyagi. She's the one-eyed kitty that lives next door. I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife to go ahead and cut their shape out, just because I wanna have a little room back here to add some stamps and do some drawing. So this is where different elements and principles of art come in. You're thinking about composition, you're thinking about design, you're thinking about balance, you're thinking about a follow through from a beginning to an end. How is your reader or viewer gonna look at this? So now that I'm pretty happy with it, I had my sketch, I like the images I chose, now I can go ahead and start cutting out the images with my X-Acto knife. If you do have an X-Acto knife, please be very careful, y'all. I just finished filling my zine with its contents. I cut out the pictures, I glued them down, and remember I was using my sketch, my outline, as a guide for how this one, my soon-to-be finalized piece will look. So now what I'm gonna do, now that the contents are all in its place and it's in the order that I like, I can now get my drawing utensils and I can start to embellish it. I can go over all my pencil marks and erase what I don't want. I can use some washi tape, or if you have old stickers, these are stickers that I got for my little mini Polaroid pictures. I'm not going to use them on my Polaroids, but I might use them or cut some out and kind of make little borders around each image. I have my stamps here, so I'm going to use some stamps and add some things. And of course, I'm going to go over all of the text with a black marker so it really pops. So again, this whole process is about telling a story and really thinking the design of your finished product. So here I go. That's what I'm going to get into now. Okay, I think I'm about done. So I went ahead and added some detail to it. Remember how I was saying I could fill in with some black marker and then erase my pencil lines, which is exactly what I did. I added some borders to the photographs. I also gave them their names and their nicknames by what I know them as or what I've nicknamed them. That one's my favorite. She was evil. Anyways, so the best thing about zines is that, remember, it's on one sheet of paper. And if you got copy paper, you can go to any photocopier at FedEx or Kinko's or your mom and dad's work, and you can make a whole bunch of copies, and then you can trade with friends or sell them or just share whatever it is that you created with anyone that would like one. So I myself have a very large zine collection from zines from overseas, from friends back home, local artists. They're a lot of fun. You're the self-publisher, you're the author, the illustrator. You made this from scratch. It's a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed today's project, and I'll see you next Saturday morning.